The Paramed automatic upper arm blood pressure monitor is comfortable and easy to use at home. With the press of a single button, you can check your blood pressure and heartbeat. What do I need to know before starting? Before starting to measure your blood pressure, we recommend following these rules. If you are drinking tea or coffee, engaging in physical activity, or taking a shower, wait 30 minutes before measuring. Before turning on the device, sit straight up in a chair. Put your feet flat on the ground and relax. We recommend removing any clothes with thick sleeves and using the measurement cuff on a bare arm or over thin clothes, like a t-shirt material. How do I measure my blood pressure to obtain accurate results? Attach the cuff to the device. Put the cuff on your left arm above your elbow so that the edge is 2 to 3 centimeters, 1 inch, from your elbow joint, and the tubes are in the middle of your arm facing your body and hanging down. Secure the cuff using the Velcro so that it sits flush but doesn't press on your arm. Put your left arm palm up and place your elbow on a table. Turn on the blood pressure monitor, sit straight and relax. Don't move or talk. Breathe regularly. The results will appear on the screen. You'll see your systolic pressure, upper number, diastolic pressure, lower number, and heartbeats per minute. What does the 3-heart image on the screen mean? If you see 3 hearts on the screen, it indicates that the device found an arrhythmia, which is a disruption in your heartbeat. This might mean that you need to relax, calm down, and not speak during the measurement. If the symbol appears several times in a single week, we recommend going to a doctor. The blood pressure monitor does not replace a visit to a cardiologist, but it can help to identify disruption in your pulse in its early stages. How can I see previous measurements? To see previous measurements, press the MEM button once. Every consecutive press will show information from each previous measurement on the screen. You can see the time and date of the measurement in the bottom left corner. When following the above instructions, the device will show the measurements of just one user. If you want to see someone else's results, change the user and press the MEM button again. Note, if you press and hold the MEM button for more than 5 seconds, all of the measurements will be deleted from the device's memory. How can I change users in the blood pressure monitor? The Paramed monitor can remember up to 120 measurements from 2 users. The device indicates the users as A and B. To change the user, press the Set button once. A flashing A or B symbol will appear on the screen. Press Set again and the symbol will change. To save the change, press the Stop button. How can I change the time and date in the settings? To use the blood pressure monitor as comfortably as possible, we recommend the following settings. To set a specific time and date, follow these instructions. When the screen is off, press Set and hold it for more than 3 seconds. The year will appear in the bottom left corner. To change it, press the MEM button. After each press, the date will change by an increment of 1. To save the setting and continue, press Set. You'll see the month and day flash next. Similarly, use the MEM button to change it. When the correct date is ready, press Set once more. After setting the date, you can set up the time using the same method and press the MEM button. To save these settings, press the Stop button. The Paramed automatic blood pressure monitor makes your health monitoring as simple and comfortable as possible. Take care of yourself and be healthy.